Hello, we are going to code a game called Jumping Over Eggs. So follow along and we'll start coding. We're going to start off with our backdrop. Go ahead and click on the choose a backdrop. We'll be using the blue sky backdrop right here. Once we have our backdrop, we will need our sprites. The default cat here, we will go ahead and delete. And by doing that, you can click on it. You'll see an X in the corner. Click on that and the sprite will disappear. We'll go down to the choose a sprite. Click on it and you can choose the cat sprite because that's what we're using. Once you have the cat sprite, you want to go back and choose the egg sprite. You can find the egg sprite under the food category. Click on it and here's your egg. Once we have the cat and the egg, we are ready to start coding. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start coding for our cat. Make sure that the cat is clicked on, and to find that out is that you will see a light blue halo around the cat, indicating that that's what we're coding at the moment. So we're going to start off with our event code, and from the event we're going to use the when green flag click. We're going to drag that into a script editor. Once we have that, our next block will be from our variable, and that we're trying to make a score with that. So we're going to go ahead and make a variable. Click on this, and then we're going to type in score. Only for this sprite, and OK. And then we have our score variable. Then we're going to use the set my variable, drag that into a script editor, change my variable to score, and you'll have the set score too. Our next block will be from our motion. And from motion, we will be positioning the cat where we want the cat. So before we pick click our go to block here, we're going to move our cat, hold down the cat and move him into position where we want him to start. You let go, and once you do, you can see that the number here on the go to X and Y block has changed. And let's go ahead and drag that block in, snap it right underneath, and that's the position where our cat will be at. Once we have the cat position, we're going to go to our control, and from our control, we're going to click on the forever loop, and also the if then loop. We're going to snap the if then right into the forever. Once we have that, we're going to go into our sensing. And from our sensing, we will be dragging the touching. And we're going to change the mouse pointer to egg. We'll go ahead and drag that, and we're going to drag that into the if then. As you can see, the if then, this diamond, which is a white halo around it, you're going to drop it right in there. Once we have that, we're going to play sound for the cat every time he jumps. So we're going to go to the sound. And from the sound, we're going to use the play sound block. We're going to drag that out and snap it right in our if then. And we're going to leave it at the meow because that's what cats do. And this is our first script for the cat. Okay, we'll go ahead and start our second strip for the cat. Our second code, we're going to start with going to the event and drag out the when space key press, drag that out onto our script editor. And then our next one will be from motion. Our block is going to be our glide, blank seconds to X and Y. We'll drag that one out. We're going to do 2 of them. I'm going to go ahead and drag another one. There we go. And then our X will stay the same and our Y will change though. Our first one will be a positive 119. Then our second one stays at the negative 119. And this code here will make the cat jump up and down and back to its position again. There you go. You see that? That's how it works. There you go for our second strip, and now we are done with our coding for the cat. Okay, now that we are done coding for our cat, we'll go ahead and code for the egg. So let's go ahead and click on the egg. Your script editor should be empty and ready for coding. Our code to start off for the egg will be from the event. And we're going to go ahead and use when green flag clicked. Go ahead and drag that into your script editor. Our next block will be from our looks, and we will be doing a switch costume. Drag that and snap it in, and we'll leave it at egg A. That is our first costume. And our next block will be from motion. And that is going to be where our egg is going to be located. So we're going to use the go to X and Y and snap that underneath. And I'm going to change the X and the Y on here. The X we're going to change to 210. The Y we're going to change to negative 140 for the position for the egg. Once you have that, we'll go ahead and set a variable for our touch cat. We'll go ahead and go into variable, make a variable. And our new variable would be called touched cat. And we're going to do this for this sprite only. Click OK. And then we're going to drag the block set. Drag it right underneath. Change my variable to touch cat. And there you go. There's the first part of it. Now we're going to continue to our forever loops. We're going to be working with our loops in our control. Our first one will be our forever. We're going to drag that out and snap it in. And then we would want to go into motion and change our X, and drag that one out, place it underneath, and this will be change X by negative 10, and this will keep the egg moving towards the left, towards the cat. Next, we will be using a if-then loop from the control. Go ahead and drag that out. We're going to put it right underneath inside our forever loop. And then in between our if then, we're going to go into our operator. In our operators, we're going to use our and. Drag that out and put it right inside the diamond. Drop it right in there. And then within our diamonds for our and, we're going to drag out our less than. We're going to be dragging both of them into both diamonds. So let's go ahead and drag another one. There you go. And then inside our less than, we're going to go into motion and use the X position. And then drag another X position for the other one. And then we're going to change the number. First one will be 150, the second one will be 140. And this is when the egg is within the area of the cat. So this will give a range of it. Our next block will be another if-then. Drag that right inside our first if-then. And then we're going to do a sensing. We're going to click on touching block. We're going to drag that out into our diamond. We're going to change our mouse pointer here to cat. And then we're going to go to our looks for our switch costume. Drag that out, put it, snap right in. We're going to switch costume to Egg B. Drag another control, or from the control, we're going to drag another if-then block. Snap it right under the switch costume. And this one, we will be working on scoring. So we will need to go to our operators. Drag out the not block and put it right into our diamond. Within that operators block, we're going to add another operator. It's going to be our equal. Drop it right in. If not blank equals blank, then we are going to change our 50 to 1, and we are going to plug in from our variables the touch cat. If not touch cat equals 1, then we're gonna use our change and snap that right in. And then we're going to change my variable to score. We don't have one for score, so let's go ahead and make one. Let's go up to variables here, make a variable, enter in score. We're going to do for this sprite only. Okay. I'm going to drag that score block down. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong. Not drag. Click on my variable, drop to score. There you go. Change score by 1. Next, we are going to drag our set. We're gonna snap it right here. And we're gonna change my variable to touch cat. And we're gonna set touch cat to also 1. I'm sorry, our change scored by is a -1. So just correct that and let's move along. Once we're done with the switching costume, and this is the range position for the egg and our scoring, we are going to position the cat to pass and score points. That's our next coding we're going to do. Let me just zoom out so it'll be smaller so we can see. So we're going to go ahead and use a if-then block from our control, and we're going to place it right underneath right here. There you go. And then we're going to use an operators. We're going to use the equal operator. Place it right in between the if-then, and inside our equal, we're going to use the X position. So let's go to our motion and drag our X position, and then we're going to change our X position to equal -22. Oh, -220, I'm sorry. So if X position equals -220, then we're going to score points. So we're going to use another if-then from the control. Wow, we're using a lot of if-then loops today. Go ahead and snap that in. And then we're going to go to operators, drag out the equals, put it right in the diamond. And then we are going to go to variables and drag out our touch cat variable that we made. And then our equal will be 0. So it's going to be if X position equals -220, then touch cat equals 0. We're going to change the score, drag out the change from our variables, snap it in, change my variables to score, and it's going to be scored by 1. Okay, let's finish this up. Next one will be our motion. We're going to go to, drag that, and we're going to place it underneath. And then we're going to leave the position as is, but we're going to switch costumes. So we're going to go to looks, switch costume, and we're going to switch back to our egg A costume. And then we're going to set in our variables, set. I'm going to change my variables to touch cat to equal to 0. Okay, and that is it for our code for the egg. So now let's try and go ahead and play the game and see how it goes.